you're radical. The cover up and the mystified, the baffled, the stump continues. So Oregon already put out the projections. Washington put out the projections on the Columbia. And every single year post Fukushima, they have been so padded, it's unbelievable. They haven't come close to their projections. Now, their projections are low. They just lower and lower and lower and lower. But they barely come in, sometimes 25% of projections. It's fraud. It's pure fraud. They put up these projections to get people to come fishing, when they know full well they're going to be emergency closing it. Book your trips. Here's your money. Well, you're going to get it back. Buy your freaking tags. Buy your license. Book your hotels. You know, these numbers have crashed radically. This is an acute radical collapse. Then you read the language. I mean, read this language. You know, WFW puts out, oh my God, it's criminal. It's absolutely criminal what they're doing. Again, I've been tracking these. I'm all over these from day one, Fukushima, even before Fukushima. Chinook salmon go to sea on average 5 years. They had record returns 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the Columbia. The live cab magically goes down. The live cab has been down. The Army Corps of Engineers classifies Kevin Blanche. What, because I get it right? I used to call him all the time. Say, hey, I'll send you a GoPro. This is just by number, not even by weight. This is outrageous. Now, you know, in Alaska, Cook Inlet, the big one, those are the 100-pound beasts. That's emergency closed for the year. So they put up these numbers. I've been screaming my head off since 2011 on the stillhead. The stillhead go to sea 1 to 2 years, half-pounders. They started to crash in 2012, and I mean radical, acute collapse. This is not gradual. You read this language, and they'll say, oh, been declining for decades. That's a lie. It's a blatant, bold-faced lie. And the numbers, I'll post the link. You can look at the numbers yourself. Record on the Columbia, record on the Chinook in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They had 1.4 million Chinook returning on the Columbia in 2015. I'm like, will you believe me when they crash in 2016? The Chinook salmon go to sea on average of 5 years. They'll at least, not in this language, but at least the Hatfield Aquarium, some woman comes in there talking. I mean, we've been in the Hatfield Aquarium many times. I've been with all these biologists the whole time saying, hey, well, at least they admit it. It's ocean conditions now. But you cannot say it's gradual. That's a bold-faced lie. An absolute bold-faced lie. And this whole scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're curious, we're going to chalk all this up. And, we're testing. Okay, testing for what? You don't even know what's coming off Fukushima. Oh, they started splitting the atom in Georgia. Okay. So the reactor, and they says, this first one is 7 years. It's the first one in 40-something years. Oh, Watts Bar. Watts Bar took 40-something years to build. Do you know the SMR NuScale has raised their price per kilowatt to way over the top of, any other energy. They're not, it's just such fraud. I can't believe everybody goes along. The Mitchell Act, look up the Mitchell Act. That was the Congressional Act of 1934 to, give money to save the salmon for ecologists, environmentalists. The actual watershed on the rivers. Most people don't even know salmon live in the ocean. The Chamber of Commerce hijacked it. So this is fraud. And again, Greenpeace, Sierra Club, friends of theirs, if you had Kevin Blanche with some real funding, well, then we would have got somewhere. We rely on them because we have been in violation of the Endangered Species Act on the Chinook and on the stillhead now we're going on 12 years. In violation. Well, how come the feds have... Oh, they come out this year. We're going to put it on the endangered. Yet Washington puts out a freaking... They know full well these freaking numbers are padded. They know full well. They've had 12 years of padding numbers now. It's outrageous. My projections on the salmon every single year have been dead on. Now remember, these numbers have crashed. That's after they've pulled the gill nets. No gill netting. after they pulled almost all the fishing. You know, they're going to get this down to 1 hour a week, you know, so they can legally sell licenses. I remember getting an argument here in Utah with remember I'd say, I'm going to book fishing guided trips out on the Great Salt Lake for Chinook salmon. Maybe we can catch some blue marlin and mermaids. You know, why not? You're going to catch the same thing here as you're going to catch out there. Come get some camaraderie. Spend your money. It's outrageous. It's fraud. So these two guides come in. I'm getting some coffee somewhere at a coffee shop. I think I was in Farmington. And here in Utah. God, it's Kevin Blanche. You're ruining my guide fishing business. Because, you know, I've been screaming about this from day one. I was right. By the way, I was right. I was dead on right. I'm owed so many apologies by so many people, including Noah, including Weber State, including all these, you know, people. They owe me so many apologies. It's unbelievable. But I don't get them. I get attacked viciously. Threatened constantly. YouTube threatens every video I put up. In the middle of the night, they'll send me these threatening freaking emails. I mean, it's constant. It goes on, you know. I said, what are you talking about? You should be on my team. How are you going to fish when there's no fish? Well, apparently they knew something I didn't. People will go fishing and catch no fish. And do it year in, year out. And say, okay, we had fun. Yeah, we got drunk. Here's a picture of us fishing. Fishermen who can't fish. Skiers who can't ski. I see it all the time here in Utah. These people are loaded up on the plane when I'm flying back from San Diego. They're loaded up in their, you know, thousands of dollars worth of gear. And then you go up there on the mountain. You know, you go up here. It's like Utah. I was reading today, Powder Mountain right here is reporting an 80-inch base. What? What are you talking about, 80-inch base? And then right there on the hill, Basin's reporting 140-something. One of them's lying. I mean, nobody holds their feet to the fire, but on the Endangered Species Act, we're talking 3 administrations. Obama administration, Trump administration, now Biden. They've come out, we're thinking about it now. It's too late, baby, it's too late. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, you know, and just kettle me, squash me, just look, all really great activists and really great knowledge of the stuff that gets done. Well, of course, they're going to be repressed. Of course, it's going to be rejected. It's the way it has to be. That's the way it always has been. My work is so historic, it's incredible. I've been dead on these salmon numbers to the number. This is an acute route. We don't catch dead tide pools. Oh, Kevin Blanche does. Oh, we're going to save the starfish in Oregon. Hatfield Aquarium. We got a way to save them. Remember, people used to laugh at me when I'm saying they're crashing. They used to laugh at me. Same with the whales. They're off the endangered species. You know, I've been dead on every bit, including the drought, including the trees. Plutonium fires, a country of deniers and liars. What do I get for it? What do I get for it? Open heart surgery. Just got off the phone with oh my God. Kicked off Medicaid. Financially destroyed, slandered at all things, threatened constantly. I can't believe it. For what? Telling the truth? Documenting the greatest historic collapse? First you up on. These salmon numbers are, they're the smoking gun of Fukushima. The ocean, because why? Still head again. We don't catch dead tide pools. Oh, Kevin Blanche's. We don't catch dead human beings and bone marrow transplant units. Oh, Kevin Blanche does. I was almost one of them. I'm running out of places for, you know, medical alert bracelets and cards in my wallet now. I just had a long discussion with him on my organic root. I mean, my root's been replaced twice. I mean, I don't know what more I can do. You know, I want to go to San Diego next couple days. I don't know. Just don't have the money. I can't sleep on the beach in my health situation. I'm getting here. I want to go to San Onofre. And we did kick that domino down. We get no credit for that either. But these numbers, I'll post a link. This is WDFW. Remember in 2015 when I'm screaming and yelling what happened? You can look it up. Had the big sex scandal there. Woman accused them. These are ODFW fish cops. They were having orgies. Look it up. For real, I swear you can look it up. One accused one of rape, whatever. For real. When the grebes all washed up dead in Alaska and in California at the same time, it was a young woman reporter on Channel 11 in Anchorage, grandfather, who got to her and she put it up. It wasn't the Fish and Game. It wasn't the government. Speaking of Farmington, I'm not even going to go into this. They have padded these numbers every single year. They come in dramatically lower every year. They know what they're doing. It's fraud. Where's the Endangered Species Act? Where's it at? It's in violation. Where's Greenpeace? Where's Sierra Club? Where's Friends of the Earth? If Fukushima hasn't proved their fraud. Look, again, the Chinook started collapse 2011, 2012. Waste and disease on the tide pools. Kevin Blanch, I was out first on all this. I was that guy that first said you can actually physically see the plume. It's black. You can see it. Walking the coast of California, I'm dying of cancer. Doing this freaking historic work. Raw footage on all these historic low tide pools. Long before anybody got on this. Not zooming in. Raw footage. Just the way it's got to be. I was right on every single bit of this. Yet, no one steps in and sues on the endangered. They're still going to blow up dams. Well, the Jedediah Smith has no dams. The Jedediah Smith is down between 90 and 99% on the said salmon. Del Notre. Their projections are out. They're talking. It's unbelievable. Chinook salmon go to sea for 5 years on average. Record returns. You can look at, I cannot overstate this. Record returns in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. One of the greatest comebacks ecologically in environmentalist history. All that money, it was working. Then they radically off a cliff in 2016. That's an outlier. This is an acute radical collapse, which we know something radically caused it. You can run regressions. It points right to 2011. What happened in 2011? You're telling me, oh, yay, we got the reactor. We're firing it up in Georgia. But by the way, when new reactors are first being fired up, that's when they're the most dangerous. How many billions did this thing cost? It's like the Tower of Babel right up the road from it, South Carolina. The Mox Fuel Cell still building at 30, 40 billion, a gazillion, gagool? Where does it end? The nuclear energy crime syndicate, everybody bows to them. The propaganda they put out a day is staggering. Kevin Williams into the back. It really, truly is David versus Goliath. They've slandered me. They've attacked me viciously. It's heartbreaking. It's actually heartbreaking. By the way, Dell in Virginia Beach helped me with these shirts. He's the actual one that printed them up. He posts all over here. Mystified, baffled. These, I said I want to work on these shirts, when I had the whole thing. The mystified, baffled, stumped, curious, perplexed, bewildered, freaking. And then he put this color scheme together, which is magnificent, and he has black ones and white ones. So if you want one, you have to go to him. Hopefully he'll comment on this video. So I'll post the projections, but it's absolute fraud. They have been grotesquely over on their projections every year. Every single year. Post-Fukushima. On the Steelhead. Post-2016 on the Chinook. It's 2023. Hello. It's not dams. It's ocean conditions. They're dying at sea. What did the 60,000-pound hump sell to the little fry as he swims down, gets out to the ocean, to the sardine, to the anchovy, big fish eat little fish, to the Upper California purple urchin, to the California crimson ochre sea star. Fukushima killed my food. To the seal, to the sea lions, they've all collapsed. It's unarguable. Post-2011. Same with the fires in the trees. I'm the first guy that started reporting that. This is the greatest drought in 1,200 years, the heat bubble. But no, you can chalk it all up to coincidence. Okay. Okay. It's an acute radical collapse, and they can keep padding these numbers, and we'll watch them. I used to call them constantly. They all know me. You can look it up. The Army Corps of Engineers actually classified me. The live cam's been out now for what, 7, 8 years on the Columbia? And this is by number, not by weight. Again, the Cook Inlet, the Keeneland, we're talking the king of them all. They're emergency close through the year. It's unbelievable. Boots on the ground, actually doing the work, a real PhD. What am I supposed to do? Stay in the university circle? Totally captured? You can't. I had to go rogue. I did what I did. And, a lot of this, fighting for my life while I'm in critical condition. Split me open, pour me out. I'm doing better. It's 8 weeks today, from the surgery. I just got a phone with him. Had a long conversation about the aortic root. I said, well, what about my artery you blew up and bypassed? I can't get any relief. I was at the store. Do you have a rewards card? I says, no rewards for me. Never free, never me, all punishment. Why? Because I said the F word. Took on the toughest subject matter of them all. The nuclear energy crime syndicate and their propaganda machine. The nuclear energy emperors. They have no fucking clothes. Stay in tune.